From massive news for Dogecoin and Kryptos coming from the European Union to some very important data and updates, there is a lot happening right now, so let's talk about it. So we are now seeing that there is another price dip in the overall crypto market, and almost all cryptos are trading in the red. All the macroeconomic uncertainty has created immense pressure on the market, and this is why Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and others have been unable to show any positive momentum. We can see here that the crypto fear and greed index has fallen to the 21 level, and it is clearly showing us that investors are sitting on the sidelines. They are sitting on the sidelines because they are concerned about the rate hikes from the Fed along with this geopolitical issue. However, it is now expected that this geopolitical issue is going to leave positive impacts for cryptos in the long term. So as per a recent report from DappRadar, cryptos could play an important role in light of global sanctions and asset freezes against Russia. DappRadar believes that blockchain ecosystems can provide a payment gateway for millions of Russians and Ukrainians deprived of other methods. It specifically mentions the use of stablecoins, which can be used as a hedge against the high inflation seen in Russia today. The report recognizes that crypto demand has been rising significantly in both Ukraine and Russia since their war began. Bitcoin purchased with rubles tripled in Russia, while it nearly doubled in Ukraine. This has helped Bitcoin find price support around 38K despite the months-long bear trend that the crypto market has been trapped within. All in all, the report concludes that this scenario will generate even more distrust into the centralized banking system, paving the way to adopting and recognizing digital assets and cryptos. Now, another massive news for Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and others is that the European Parliament has officially decided not to ban cryptos. So what we are now seeing is that the European Parliament's Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee has voted against banning proof-of-work-based assets for companies in the European Union. And it has given support to an alternative proposal on crypto assets by European Parliament member Stefan Berger. So this is indeed good news and a sigh of relief for the cryptos community. This is because there were speculations that the EU is going to ban cryptos, and it created a lot of FUD in the market. And it was expected that the market was going to crash. But holders can now be relieved to see that nothing bad is going to happen now and no one is banning cryptos. Meanwhile, we can see here that Patrick Hansen, head of strategy at Unstoppable Finance, is saying that the committee of the EU Parliament just voted against the de facto POW ban. Overall, 23 voted in favor of the ban amendment, 30 voted against, and 6 abstained. And he believes that this is a big relief in political success for the Bitcoin and the crypto community in the European Union. Similarly, MP from Paris, Pierre Person, is saying that it seems that reason and common sense prevailed. He is saying that we must continue to defend the principle of technological neutrality, and Europe must remain in the global competition. All in all, this is pretty positive news for cryptos. And it is good not only because cryptos are not going to be banned in Europe. The most important thing to note here is that it is a big political win for cryptos. And this is why I believe that this news is just saying to us that cryptos are here to stay, no one is going to ban them, and they are going to grow over the years. Now, despite this massive good news, you might be wondering why the prices of cryptos are still going down and there is still no uptrend in the market. So the thing is that this is indeed positive news. However, there are some other concerns as well which are affecting the cryptos prices. So one of the main reasons why investors are still sitting on the sidelines and why crypto prices are still moving sideways is that the Fed is going to hike interest rates this Wednesday. So if the Federal Reserve decides to raise interest rates by a 1/4 percentage point from zero, investors will be curious how the crypto market would react. Although the increase is expected to be only a 1/4 point, investors will be watching to see if the Fed announces a series of rate hikes for the remainder of the year. So this is the main reason why we are still seeing this downward momentum in the crypto market. But I think all this uncertainty is going to end after this meeting. So let's see what happens. And with that being said, let's come to Dogecoin's current price movements. So Dogecoin's price action now suggests that bears have a firm grip on the current trend. Bears have been able to limit the price of Doge around the 11 cents level. Meanwhile, it is also facing strong rejection from the 13 cents resistance level, while it is also moving below its crucial moving averages. Now, the only way to invalidate Dogecoin's bearish thesis is if the bulls can produce a higher high above the previous resistance at 13 cents. So if this happens, Dogecoin is likely to reach targets of 14 and 15 cents. So in short, we may see more volatility for Doge in the coming days. And now, let's come to Bitcoin for a minute. So the Bitcoin price action is stubbornly sticking to a zone that has seen more on-chain volume than any other in Bitcoin's history. And it saw a fresh brief short squeeze recently with bulls still attempting to crack the 40K resistance. Bitcoin has remained practically unmoved on daily timeframes, frustrating a market trapped in a trading range for months. Meanwhile, liquidation data from on-chain monitoring resource CoinGlass is showing limited shakeouts as a result of the latest squeeze higher as Bitcoin liquidations totaled $47 million over 24 hours. And we can see here that the CEO of Moskovsky Capital, Lex Moskovsky, has highlighted the historical significance of current spot price levels. He is saying that this is the mother of all consolidations for Bitcoin, as on-chain volume at 39K is the largest in the entire history of Bitcoin. He also stated that a record 775K Bitcoin changed hands at around 38.7K. And seeing the current market environment, crypto analyst Michael Van de Poppe is saying that altcoins are again showing a lot of weakness in the Bitcoin pair as they are dropping, and Bitcoin is still consolidating. So he believes that these are not the best signs for the markets. Meanwhile, we can see here that Bitcoin whales have started to pull out of the market. The current accumulation trend score from Glasson shows that whales are activity distributing tokens, suggesting a low probability of reversing the recent price slump if this pattern persists. We can see here that since the start of 2022, it opened with a score of around 0.7, indicating whales were mainly accumulating. However, the current score is just 0.027, showing a complete turnaround in sentiment. So this is a bullish thing for Bitcoin, since lack of interest from whales can extend this consolidation phase for it. However, the good thing is that retail investors are currently buying Bitcoin. We can see here that data from on-chain analysts Ecoinometrics supports the view that whales are selling. However, their analysis also included examining what small fish are doing, and contrary to the whales, retail investors are currently buying Bitcoin. So this is a good thing for Bitcoin, but we still need support from whales if we want Bitcoin to move to the upside from here. On the other hand, despite all this bearish movement, some analysts are still remaining bullish on Bitcoin. For example, we can see here that crypto analyst CryptoRover has predicted that Bitcoin is going to trade around 50K within 30 days from now. Meanwhile, we are now seeing that Singapore's biggest bank CEO is saying that cryptos like Bitcoin will continue to grow as a meaningful store of value. So this is good news for Bitcoin, as the CEO of a major bank is predicting a massive growth for it. And now, let's see what is happening with Ethereum. So Ethereum has been consolidating below the 2.6K price level during the last 24 hours. However, it appears to be attempting an upside break at the moment. This is because its MACD has been trying to enter the bullish territory, and this suggests that the sell-off in Ethereum may be nearing an end. But Ethereum must overcome the first significant resistance near the 2.6K level, and if it does, the price might soar as high as the 2.8K mark in the short term. And with that being said, let's come to some important crypto updates. So U.S. Senator Cory Booker has recently come up with some very positive comments for Kryptos. He is saying that crypto is an exciting innovation that needs to be nurtured and regulated properly to make the most out of it. He also praised the efforts taken by the Biden administration to position the U.S. as a leader in the upcoming sector. So this is positive news for Kryptos, as a U.S. senator is praising them and backing the idea of the U.S. embracing Kryptos. Now, another good news for Kryptos is that Standard Chartered is entering the crypto space with new services. So we are now seeing that with the help of financial services, heavyweight Standard Chartered and Northern Trust, crypto custody startup Zodia is developing new solutions for institutional investors in an effort to generate returns. The company is ready to introduce collateral management services that will allow large investors to profit from their crypto investments. So this is positive news for Kryptos, since these services are expected to attract a lot of large investors to Kryptos, and this means that crypto adoption is going to surge dramatically. And now coming back to Dogecoin, despite all this uncertainty, I still believe that Doge is going to make some big moves in the next few months. From the EU not banning Kryptos to all these updates about rising crypto adoption, I believe that the long-term outlook is pretty bullish for Dogecoin. And that's it for today's video. If you liked our content, please leave a comment in the comment section below